Do you ever wonder how they set up green screen backgrounds? How do they run it live behind a reporter on the news? Or how do they use it for commercials? Well, if you're working in a studio, it can be done using a Chromakey. This effect works by pulling out a specific color from your video and filling the hole with a new background. If you want a background that can't be recreated on set, this is a good way to achieve that, and it lends you a bit more creative freedom as to how you want your shows to look. On the Grass Valley Calypso video switcher, this process can be set up easily if you know what you're doing. So in this guide, we'll be going through the process for how to get your Chromakey ready for your next live production. First things first, we need to prepare by getting our equipment and studio ready before we can even start putting the effect together. So we'll head to our control room to turn our equipment on. You'll turn it on in order from left to right, so flip the two switches here on the back of the desk, then each switch at the bottom of the equipment racks on the right of the room. And while you're here, you can also get the CG computer ready. Log in with the generic account provided and open up New Blue Titler Live 4. We'll leave it there for now, but we'll be coming back to it later once we have the switcher ready. Now we need to get the studio set up. Put your set together for your production. You should place the blue or green cloth on wherever in the set you want your Chromakey to cut. So if you're cutting your background, drape it behind your set. And keep in mind while you're setting these up, that nothing on set can be the same color you plan to cut. Otherwise, it'll just cut those values as well. So, no blue on blue, no green on green. Then you'll want to plan out your set's lighting. When doing this for a Chromakey, the screen needs to be as evenly lit as possible. If it isn't, you'll see the shadows and folds in your end result. Once your set is put together, you can place your cameras, focus and frame your shot, and color correct until your video looks ready. Now, we can move back into the control room and begin setting up our Chromakey effect. On the switcher's control panel, you'll select the ME channel where you will build your effect. Pick the camera you want to use as your foreground on key bus 1. Then pick your background on the A bank. We'll be using a still store for our background, so we'll need to go save it. Up on the switcher's GUI, go from the home menu and select still store. Then create edit to open that menu. Then, on the CG computer, run your background graphic on the CG1 feed in Titler. Once you see it up on the monitor wall, move back over to the GUI, check to make sure your input source is CG1, then press Grab Still and Keep Image. Now, you can find your saved graphic and put it onto the still store feed you want to use. Back down on your control panel, find your keyer section. Select the buttons for your ME, your key, and the Chromakey. Then on the GUI, go from home and select Keyer and Chromakey to open the settings. Select Push to Preview so that we can see the feed we'll be working on in our preview. Select Auto Setup to open a new tab on the GUI. Use the control panel's joystick to move the cursor, and select the color you'd like to eliminate on the screen. Then just press Take to replace it with your background. Now you have a Chromakey background on your screen, but it might not be perfect after just the auto setup. If the picture isn't perfect, there's a few changes you can make to eliminate the issues in your key and to get a clearer image. In the studio, you can try adjusting your set and your lighting to minimize the shadows, and even out your background as much as possible. This is a good fix for the obvious dark spots in the image. You can adjust the settings of the key itself by adjusting the opacity, gain, and clip knobs in the keyer section until your image looks clear. If both of those don't work out though, you can also change the camera settings themselves and adjust the iris and black levels on the RCPs until it looks right. If you do this though, you may need to adjust the other cameras to match afterwards. Now, you should have a Chromakey background that's ready to use for your next studio production. Good luck!